Ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of light has been shed on this somewhat compelling offer that Sydney proposed to Jack Buller to ensure that he does not go to the Collingwood Football Club. It's time to talk all things black and white. Ladies and gents, on the 6th of October, being the start of the week, we had a quote from Sydney's GM, Chris Keane, on Jack Buller. It read the following: Jack caught us off guard a bit. We had no indication he was looking at a move. We understand his intention is to get to Collingwood. We will see how that one goes throughout this period. We did everything we could have, and we had a compelling offer on the table. We are disappointed about it, okay? So you think compelling... What's a compelling offer for Jack Buller, who's just played 9 games at AFL level after coming through the mid-season draft? I would say a compelling offer would be an extra 2 years on the table with maybe some triggers, yeah? Maybe a little bit more cash. Maybe you move him to the primary list, something of that sort, right? Because he came through as a mid-season draftee in 2023. I'm actually not too sure whether he's still on a rookie list, so someone can clarify that for me. That'd be greatly appreciated. But nevertheless, we hear from, if we quote Tom Morris today on Jack Buller, my understanding is that the deal from the Swans was for 1 year on base cash. That's not compelling. Collingwood has offered a multi-year deal. Sydney has no leg to stand on. So you can see how there's just a bit of conversation getting lost in translation here, because what's compelling? That you use that word, as I've just mentioned, you'd think at the very least it's a multi-year deal that's being offered by Sydney. And then Collingwood come across and say, hey, we'll give you a multi-year deal. You'd probably think, right, base cash, okay? Base cash is being offered at Sydney. Base cash for a rookie is anywhere between 100 to 200K plus match bonus payments, okay? So it's not a lot. So you'd think Jack Buller would be coming to Collingwood for anywhere between 200 to 300 a year. That's my guess. That's my uneducated guess. 200 to 300 a year. Maybe there's triggers, incentives, and everything else, right? So that's probably the difference. Plus, you're coming to Melbourne to play for Collingwood. There's that is enticing. Maybe Collingwood's deal monetarily isn't much better, albeit, right? He won't be on the rookie list. He'll be coming to the primary list for the Pies. So with that kept in mind, he'd be on some increment of cash, some level of increase of cash relative to where he was at Sydney, plus the extra year or two added to the contract. So yeah, it's just maybe Buller, when he had this offer on the table, is, you know what, one extra year, or you're offering me a 1 year deal on base cash, whether you move me to the primary list or whether I stay in that rookie list. I think I'm worth more than that after putting together the back end of the season that I had. And maybe that ticked him off. I always want to preface these type of conversations by saying this is a business world, so I would like to think that Buller doesn't emotionally react to this offer, but maybe the business mind in Jack Buller and his player agent team have said, you know, okay, this is what Sydney have given us. Let's be pragmatic about this. Let's go see if there's another club who just so happened to have lost Brody Myercheck, or we knew they were going to lose Brody Myercheck. Their list is getting older. You're young. You've had a really good season. You are genuine key forward size. Let's shop your name to the Collingwood Football Club and see if there's if they bite. And if they bite, we can part ways. I'm curious. Was there a counter offer by Sydney? If so, was it too little, too late? It doesn't sound like Sydney have counter offered in any way. Maybe we will learn a little bit more about this information. But at this point in time, it seems like, as Keane said, the Sydney GM suggested that we were blindsided by this in some way, so they weren't aware of this possibility. Even fans, speaking to some of their fans around the league, they are a little bit disappointed with Jack Buller leaving, seeing as he's just, he's served his apprenticeship, and with players like McLean, Amadi, who are incredibly streaky in the way they play, maybe they were finding some level of consistency with Jack Buller and just the way he plays. Like, guys, when you watch this guy, he competes at ground level. He can take a contested mark. He can pinch hit in a ruck if needed. Although we didn't see that a lot in the AFL, he pinch hit in a ruck a little bit. If you want to find a game where he pinch hit in a ruck, it was the one against GWS. But outside of that, he didn't do a lot of ruck. He didn't have many ruck duels. But he comes in and he gives McStay the option to be that stay-at-home forward, and then Buller can be that guy who goes into the ruck where needed. I think that's a really important option to have as a club next season. And to pair him with potentially, McStay, where the member's in the picture, Charlie West, Noah Howes, it does give us a little bit more flexibility in the way we want to set up our forward line next season, where we either go taller or smaller, whether we want to play McStay in a ruck or not after what we saw this year. That's something that we will see as the preseason goes on. And this type of guy, Buller, it's sort of just, it's a free swing at this point. And it's a free swing before we consider, all right, well, how did Charlie West go? When we get to the end of 2026, how did Charlie West go? How did Jack Buller go? Are we now, at that point, based on their performances, are we now still keen to get Ben King? Do we put all our eggs in the Butters basket, for example? So that's what bringing someone like Jack Buller gives you a chance to see if we can put together a forward line without depending on the possibility of Ben King coming to the club at the end of next season. So there is that within all of this conversation. All in all, it seems like Sydney just didn't offer him a contract that he felt that he deserved. They said, Buller's team said, let's shop around. They found something at the biggest club in Australia, and I don't think there was even enough time for Sydney to give Buller a counter offer. He was just keen on getting to the Pies. What are your thoughts on this and the way Sydney have dealt with this and the way Collingwood have proactively approached or worked within this situation? Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you all, and as always, go Pies.